the 7th coach at Northwestern basketball history. You got it.
And maybe he should have left his glasses up here. But thank you so much. It certainly is a great day to be a Wildcat. Thank you, Mark. And please let me take a moment to sincerely thank you, President Beenan, Jana Blay, and the entire search committee for your trust, for your belief, and for the time and care you put into this process. It was clear from the very beginning how much this program matters and how committed you all are to doing things the right way. Thank you to Emily, Kate, Tracy, Kelly, and Chris. You showed me that this was a community I wanted to be a part of, and I'll be knocking down your doors for the blueprint on how to be successful here. I also want to take a moment to recognize and thank Joe McCune for his incredible 18 years of service to Northwestern and this program. Joe built a program with integrity, competitiveness, and a culture that has left a lasting impact on the university, the players, and the community. I already feel that. His dedication, passion, and leadership set a standard that we will honor and build upon. So thank you, Joe, for your years of commitment and helping shape this program to what it is today. I'd like to thank my wife, Meg, my sons, Parker and Caden, and my daughter, Brogan. We are really looking forward to becoming part of the greater Evanston community. From what everything we've seen and heard, it's a welcoming, vibrant place with so much energy, and we can't wait to get to know our neighbors, support local initiatives, and be part of the life here beyond the basketball court. Thank you to Lauren, LD, and Lily for coming to Northwestern with me. For my players at Tufts, to my colleagues at Princeton, I can't think of two better humans and friends to embark on this journey with. And a heartfelt thank you to my Princeton Tigers, my AD, John Mack, for an incredible 7 years. They certainly made it very, very hard to leave there. It was an incredible, incredible ride. But coming to Northwestern felt right to me on a deeper level than just basketball. At Northwestern, you're not choosing between competing at the highest level and getting a world-class education. You're expected to do both. And that challenge and that standard, that balance, that's exactly what I believe in. I want to coach players who are driven in every part of their lives, who want to be pushed, who want to grow, and who care about something bigger than themselves, and who want to win championships. And when I spent time talking with the people here at Northwestern and understanding the vision, I felt alignment, real alignment, not just in words, but in values. This is a place where you can build something meaningful, something lasting, something that prepares young women for life, not just for the next game. Because years from now, when they leave this program, I don't just want them to just say they won games. I want them to say that this experience changed them, prepared them, and gave them confidence in who they are. I want them to feel like this will always be their home. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to lead this program, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. I'm excited to partner with all of you as we move this program forward together. Wildcat basketball will be the team that values every possession, that forces you to guard for a full shot clock, and then comes down and makes it hard, just as hard on you on the other end. We're going to think the game, but we're also going to compete. We're going to be physical, and we're going to be relentless. But at the core, it's about being connected, being disciplined, and playing for each other. That's our foundation. Before I wrap up, I just want to say how grateful I am for this opportunity. To be trusted with this program at a place like Northwestern is something I don't take lightly. To our players, this is about you. It's about your growth, your experience, and everything you're going to become while you're here. We're going to challenge you, like I told you in the locker room. We're going to support you, and we're going to do it together every single day. Now it's about the work. It's about showing up every day, choosing the standard, and growing together and winning a lot. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to get started. Go Cats. And that's a wrap. No. Looking forward to take any questions.
At this time, we'll go right into questions. We have mic holders on our left and right side. Make sure to raise your hand, get your attention. We'll get you a microphone. And then if you could identify yourself with your name and outlet, we'll start with Henry on the right.
Hi, Coach. Henry Freeman, NUsports.com. Welcome to Evanston. How would you describe your vision for this program?
Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about there. Like, I am just really looking forward to coming in and setting a standard, talking about the culture that we want to build. I think it's about taking steps forward every single day in the weight room, in conditioning, on the court, individual workouts, and pushing forward every single day. I know, it can't be overnight success. Winning a Big Ten championship, it's going to take some time and some growth, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to, helping these young women get better every single day, collectively and then individually, and put a brand of basketball that will the fans of Welsh Ryan will be excited to cheer for, and that our alumni will be, proud that they're wearing Northwestern across their chest. So, I'm just looking forward to working and to coaching these tremendous student athletes.
We'll go Hope, then Chris.
Hi, Coach Berube.
Hi, Hope.
I wanted to ask you, at Princeton, you never took a transfer. That's not really something you can do in the Ivy League. How are you planning on using the portal here now that you're at a Big Ten school?
Yeah, we'll definitely be using the portal. It opens up next week, and we've got to bring in some talented student athletes from the portal to supplement the great student athletes that we have here. So we are diving right in and can't wait to meet those student athletes across the country that want Northwestern. I think that's really, really important. We want to be here for this degree, and then retain the players that we do have.
Hey, Coach. Chris Kwasinski with Fox Chicago. Welcome to Evanston. I was curious, as you go through the process and in having discussions with administration, what kind of conversations did you have about resources and making Northwestern a place where transfers might want to come to?
Yeah, I think the commitment is there. I don't think I would have come to Northwestern and move my family across the country if I didn't feel like we had the resources and the commitment to win here. So I am, I'm fully confident that we can do that and bring in really talented student athletes.
Gavin.
Gavin Dorsey, Roundtable Sports. Welcome to Evanston, Coach. Just curious, how involved was Coach McEwen in this process, and have you had the chance to talk with him about what it means to coach at a place like Northwestern?
No, he wasn't a part of this, but I've known Coach McEwen for many, many years, and he's given so much to the women's game, and but we've exchanged texts, and I am looking forward to hopefully getting lunch or coffee with him to talk about this place more. And like I said, he's a huge part of the excellence that is Northwestern women's basketball.
Right here, Charlie.
Hi, Coach. Charlie Sponge in the Daily Herald. What were some of the most appealing parts of the Northwestern job for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think competing in the Big Ten is exciting, and it's certainly a big challenge that I'm looking forward to. I think that what made it appealing to me, it was very much like the stops I've already had at Tufts and Princeton. So I've been coaching, these really amazing, driven women that care about the balance of their student experience and athletic experience, and now it's like at a world-class level on both fronts. And I think that we're excited to to be a part of the Evanston community, being near Chicago, which I've heard great things about. And yeah, I think it just the time and the place and the leadership that I really believed in that made this. It was a difficult decision to leave Princeton, but I think it is the right decision based on what we have here.
Go back here.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. Alyssa Hirsch from the Chicago Sun-Times. A couple recent examples of teams that have gone from the bottom of the Big Ten to either the middle or the top, Minnesota, Illinois. I'm curious, if you follow those programs closely and if you feel like there's any lessons that can be applied here at Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly been following, the Big Ten and seeing the kind of success that those programs have. And yeah, I mean, I think it's about getting players, right? It's about getting really talented players that buy in to what the coaching staff is teaching them and what we're valuing. And so I think part of this process was making sure I'm bringing the right staff with me too, to build something great. And I think we can be really successful here. I mean, a Northwestern degree, like how amazing is that? And you can play at basketball at a really high level. So I love to win. I'm lucky enough to have been doing that a lot. And so I think we can do it here, as well as having a really transformational, amazing experience for my players.
Matt.
Hi, Coach. Matt Fortuna, The Inside Zone. What were the biggest influences that Coach Auriemma had on you, both as a player, and how did he inspire you to get into coaching and still coach today?
Yeah. I had an incredible experience at UConn my 4 years, a very long time ago. And it made me just love the game even more. It made me become a thinker of the game. I was inspired to still be a part of women's basketball. I wasn't quite sure what that avenue was because I was very shy. I was an introvert in college and a little bit after. And then, I just found the passion of coaching and being able to give back to the student athletes that the coaches I had, Coach Auriemma, my assistants there, had such a huge impact on me. I learned about just the value of relationships, the value of connecting with your players, the value of making sure everybody on your team has a role and that role is communicated really well. So I talked to the team earlier. We're going to have open lines of communication. I also learned the value of defense and how important that is in successful teams. He told me during my freshman year I couldn't guard a chair, so that really inspired me to get better and really embrace that side of the basketball. And now I love it, and I think that's how you win championships and be really successful. And he's still an important mentor in my life. I certainly called him to talk about this position and what he thought of it, and he was all go. So, huge impact on my life.